Okay.
I look extra white today. I feel like
you kind of do.
Right? I feel like I'm radiating the light. I wonder if it might be the positioning of the light. There's a lot of forehead, right? So I feel like that's also, making a difference.
I think your team might have sucked some life out of you last night. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh yeah, how'd your team do, Brandon?
Worse. But I'm used to it. I'm a hardened man.
This
is your first day down in the coal mine, Tom.
I'm breathing it in, and I don't like the air.
I like that coal mine dust going right into my lungs. I thrive on it.
We here.
Wow, we still.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS. And the S stands for sigh.
Sad? Sad?
Sad. Sigh.
Sam? Does it stand for Sam? Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Whoa, this changes the text.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. I hate the super chats like this.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Yeah, that's awful. Please change
that for us.
Yeah, for us it looks cool. For this, it does there. No, I don't know if that's it either. And this maybe it's just the there we go. Maybe it's just the skull that looks horrible. Yeah, happy Monday, folks. It's not a happy Monday for Brandon nor I, as both our teams. Listen, we're running on no sleep. It's the end of December. This is the final GPS of 2024.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, depending on how the show goes, might be the last
one. You stream until the new year, huh, Tom?
Well, I'm going to be streaming tonight. All right, so calm down. But yeah. Crazy times, crazy weekend. We had clinches. We have teams that are eliminated. You have the Colts losing to the Giants, and Giants fans and Colts fans not being happy with that. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is the most sacked QB in history and also got flagged for unnecessary roughness yesterday. You got the Commanders clinching a wild card spot. They're currently the 6th seed. The Packers moved down to the 7th seed. The Rams clinched the West, and they didn't have to do diddly squat except beat the Cardinals on Saturday night. It's a crazy time. Crazy time.
Honestly, I think there's two plays that were there's so much I want to talk about today.
Oh, yes.
The Packers Vikings game was fascinating. Jayden Daniels just so good in the clutch.
Jayden Daniels.
The Kenny Pickett throw where he doesn't let go of the ball and he falls on his face is the funniest throw I think I've ever seen. But if that didn't happen this week, Kyler Murray with the game on the line, just throwing a bullet at Trey McBride's head.
Yeah.
Bouncing the ball off his tight end's head because he couldn't touch pass it, and it ended up in a interception.
Yep.
I verbally laughed at the TV when I saw that shit.
Yep.
Not at the initial pick because I was kind of rooting for the curse, if I'm being honest. I wanted the Rams to lose, so the curse wheel had a little merit this week. But then I saw the replay. I was like, oh, Kyler. Oh, man. That's a bad throw in a big situation. But you're right. The Rams are – and they're probably the best team in the NFC West. And I don't know if that's saying much right now.
Dude, it really is that they spent all their points beating the Buffalo Bills. That was the highlight. And then it was like, all right, we are just going to try to get by with the bare minimum. They didn't score a touchdown against the 49ers. They beat the Jets. What was it, like 19-9, something like that?
Yeah.
And then, of course, that was a game against the Cardinals that, it was a game of our time. So, Carlos, the Bears can't even do anything next week. They beat the Packers. It don't matter. The Packers are the 7th seed right now. So the only hope the Packers have is that the Cowboys beat the Commanders, which don't know if that's happening, and the Packers beat the Bears. So, pretty much did, man. So yeah, we have basically every spot, even though every division is not clinched, because Sunday Night Football is going to be Vikings, Lions for the NFC North and for the number 1 seed, which is crazy. The Eagles, they clinched their division. The Rams clinched their division. Commanders are in. Lions are in. Packers are in. There's one spot remaining. There's one spot, and it is the Denver Broncos. The only other division that's not clinched in the NFC, of course, is the NFC South. The Falcons losing last night, the Buccaneers winning. So that's going to week 18 as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy times. It could either be Broncos, the Bengals, or the Dolphins. Who's going to get that last AFC spot?
Yeah, this was confusing to me for a second when I looked at this morning. Like, I got that the Vikings would jump to 1, but then I'm like, wait, that puts the Lions all the way down at 5. I was like, oh, but they haven't played yet. And then I was like, wait a second. Why are all 7 of the NFC locked up, but these align because we don't know the final thing for the Broncos? And I was like, oh, they still don't have the 4 seed secured. So
correct.
Tampa, who do the Bucs play? They play the Saints?
Yeah, they play the Saints.
The Falcons get the Panthers. So as long as the Bucs win, they're in, just like the Broncos. And Tampa looked great against Carolina. That was a fun game for like a quarter and a half.
Yep.
And then, Tampa Bay Baker threw 5 more touchdowns. They blocked that punt for a touchdown. Bucky Irving was a beast. Mike Evans caught a couple. In Tampa, it's like when they're clicking, they look so good, but
they do. But you mentioned or did not mention the most important part about that game. We got a duck.
Oh, the duck. Yes.
The duck. There was a duck. It's Ducky Irving. It's the Ducks. It's no longer the Bucs. I don't care if they're a hockey team. I'm just saying.
The mighty Ducks of Tampa.
That's a good luck duck. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. Yeah. There is a lot to talk about. I also feel like so much has happened since the last time that we were live. There was 3 games on Saturday. The Chargers, they clinched a playoff spot. They beat the ever-living piss out of the Patriots.
Yeah.
That was J.K. Dobbins makes a big deal, but Justin Herbert, he played well. That they just dominated that game completely.
Yeah. And Ladd McConkey,
McConkey's so good.
He's really developing into just a very good all-around receiver for them. And the Patriots are just terrible.
Patriots are terrible, but the Giants not hurting them because the Giants winning yesterday gives the Patriots the number 1 draft pick, and the Colts are eliminated from the playoffs. But we'll get there. We'll get there because that's not the only game that happened on Saturday. We had the Chargers. They beat the Patriots. And then it was the Broncos versus Bengals. And what I anticipated was going to be the best game of the day. I was hoping, I texted you, what was that, 2 weeks ago? I was like, I hope this is prime time. And no, instead we got the crappy primetime game. But holy God, man, that went all the way into overtime. It went back and forth. Bo Nix to Mims at the end of regulation, scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I feel like this has happened to you. Because I remember, was that last year, right? With Russell Wilson threw like the Hail Mary. They got it. And then they decided to go for 2 and they didn't get it. Bro, and they had opportunities. They got the ball back. Like they got it in overtime. You had a doink in which the Bengals, Cade York shanked it and it bounced off the left upright. And unfortunately for the Broncos, they still have not clinched a playoff spot. The good news is that the Chiefs, they're the number 1 seed. We'll see if they're going to play any starters. The Broncos win and they're in. They still got that in front of them. Yeah. But the Dolphins and the Bengals are waiting in the wings here. And Perno, kind of where are you at? Are you any more or less confident? Because I feel like heading into this game, you and I are both kind of on the same page. Like this is going to be the tough one, trying to beat the Bengals.
No, I mean, there's so many things to digest in terms of where the Broncos are at with this. We're ahead of schedule in terms of where we thought we'd be with a rookie quarterback. So you keep that in perspective, right? In my opinion, to be taken seriously heading into the playoffs, they had to beat either the Chargers or the Bengals. The Chargers are a playoff team. The Bengals currently are not, but they've been playing like one. They've been playing like one all season, except for their defense and some of the weird shit in ways they've lost games.
Australia.
And like the first half, holding Cincinnati to just 7 points, it wasn't really entertaining, but I was like, okay, defense is playing pretty good again. Yep. Even though, you know, Riley Moss didn't look like himself. That obviously turned into a thing with T. Higgins. And then the second half of the game just got crazy. And I think, like, what's so conflicting if you're watching the Broncos as a Broncos fan, Bo Nix he does so many things well. And then there's like two things that as soon as he actually figures them out, I think he will be a very good quarterback. And one is trusting his pocket. He has a tendency to bail and roll to his right way too much. I think like that's his safety zone. Feels a little pressure, rolls out to the right. Mm-hmm. And this is with clean pockets. And it's easy to identify because we saw fucking Russell Wilson do it so many times.
Sure.
And then it's just being more consistent on his downfield throws, because you mentioned the Broncos defense did get a stop in overtime. Clutch, huge, money, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we had Troy Franklin open. And Bo just overthrew him.
Yep.
I don't know why we're dialing up Troy Franklin there, Tom, because that play this season he's
not the guy for that.
Every time Troy Franklin is open deep, something bad happens. Something bad happens. And it happened again. Yeah. So credit the defense for getting a stop in overtime. I don't know why the fuck Sean Payton thought, oh, yeah, let's take Joe Burrow and T. Higgins into OT. Like, a tie benefits you. You're going to go 10 fucking minutes against this team and expect to tie them? Now, to his credit, they almost did.
They almost did it.
But you're banking on a doinked field goal at that point.
Yeah.
So the fact that they couldn't capitalize, not just after the stop, but after the Bengals doinked it, and they dial up 6 yards of offense in overtime to Cincinnati's 119 or whatever, like that's tough. And I think a lot of it's just about consistency on offense.
Sure.
Like you see it flash. We've seen it flash a lot of times this season, but this game's a good example. Denver scored 3 points in the first half.
Same.
So like that's tough. That's got to get better. But like, you know, Bo has leeway because he's a rookie.
Yep.
I think the inaccuracy downfield thing can be fixed because we've seen like the dimes, like the 50-yard touchdown to Mims in this game alone.
Too,
like, it was, I think, the longest pass with air yards this season. So it's there. It's just about getting a little more consistent. And I think if you look at Josh Allen's rookie year, his biggest flaw was like some of his downfield throws were just, sometimes they're like a mile over the guy's head. You're like, oh, that guy can't play. He can't throw consistently. He's hurdling dudes, but you know. So there's all these like little things, and I don't know if they are fixed I don't think they're fixed by the playoffs, obviously. Mm-hmm. I am scared that they won't beat the Chiefs, but that's just tortured me. Speaking, it's a big game. We should get Carson Wentz. They should win it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Trying to get in a 50, by the way.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Stefan. Maybe I'll burn it in front of the curse wheel. Have a little seance. Dude, if like the Chiefs get some devil magic, I thought at first they put the Bengals Steelers in Sunday prime time.
Yeah, no,
it's Saturday. I didn't realize it was Saturday at first, and I was like, oh my god, the NFL's rigged. If they're putting the Bengals in prime time, they are guaranteeing the Broncos.
They know they're going to win.
Yeah, I got so scared when I saw the schedule, Tom.
Yeah, no, Sunday night going to be Vikings Lions.
Yeah. Here's okay. So I vomited a bunch of thoughts about the Broncos. Marvin Mims is a dude, though. He's emerging as a dude, and he's made some big plays for us. So that's nice. We got Sutton, we got Mims. Feel like the Broncos need that third piece at receiver. Maybe Troy Franklin can develop into that guy, but they should be there now.
Even
what was your take from the Broncos-Bengals game? Like, looking at it objectively as an outside observer.
Well, first,
go Chargers, go.
There you go, Chargers. You deserve that for getting in with Harbaugh year one. You deserve that. You definitely deserve that. It's a great question because I feel like the Broncos, I have a lot.
Hey, Scooter, did everybody tell you I said I would marry you if I had to marry one of the clickbait crew? Scooter?
Yeah, what the hell, man? What the... I tuned into your stream. I was like, oh yeah, Perna's streaming. Like, let me just check out and see how the stream is going. And the question was asked of like, which clickbait member would you marry if Jess wasn't in the picture? And you're like, probably Scooter. I was like, you...
Did you hear my explanation as to why, though?
Because you said you knew that Scooter would be saving himself for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better.
First, Scooter saves himself for me. That's very nice. But here's the real reason, and I thought about this on a very technical level, Tom. I said, Tom and I work together too much. If we're married and something goes wrong in our relationship, that's going to affect... We do GPS 3 days a week. We stream games together.
It's true.
Like, if things go bad, that affects my whole world.
Maybe you need to invest some of the time in our relationship. Okay. You're going out late at night. I don't see you anymore. You're not home on time. I'm at home taking care of everything, and I work. But it's fine. It's fine.
I knew for certain it wasn't Adam. So really, it was like, do I choose Tree, Tom, or Scooter? I can hang out with Adam, but no way could I marry that man.
John, enjoy the game. It depends on where you're going to park. There's going to be traffic heading in and out of that game, 1,000,000%. It's going to be a noon game, Central Time. So I would try to park like in somebody's lawn that you're going to be able to get easy access out of, even if you have to walk a little bit. So I would highly recommend doing that because parking, it's going to take you a while to get out of there. That's just a football stadium. But yes, objectively, looking at the Broncos, I have not forgotten. They just look like a team that has a rookie quarterback and doesn't have a ton of weapons on offense. And what I mean by that is the run game can be good, right? But you don't have like the guy there. On top of there, like you talked about a wide receiver 3. I would love for you to get I don't know if this is going to happen, but I would love for you to get a T. Higgins who was a monster on Saturday. I know you wish you had T. Higgins then, but to have more of a balanced attack and more options for Bo, because I feel like that, and you see this throughout the NFL, especially with young QBs. You saw it with Penix a few times, even though Penix did have a couple of good throws. He had some overthrows. I feel like a lot of these like short passes, these short intermediate routes, like they're fine. But when you need the big chunk plays, and we know Bo could do it, especially in that Browns game. And of course, the last throw there in regulation, but they just seem like a team whose defense is damn good. I know they're picking on Riley Moss a ton on Saturday.
Yeah.
So Bengals still got a chance, but I think that defense is going to keep you in a lot of games, and having an offense that could put you over the top with some more weapons, getting another receiver or like a sturdy number 1, number 2. Yeah. Sutton's still really good. I just want to be very clear. Sutton's still good. But yeah, having a run game, having another weapon, I think is just going to put you guys over the top and take you from a team that, is a little inconsistent to being more consistent. Because if you can put up, 30 points a game, something like that, or like dance around there, you're going to be able to beat enough teams if your defense is able to hold teams.
And it's Sean Payton deserves a lot of blame for, I think, some of the play calling, and it's fine. Like you can live with, like, every play call is not going to be perfect on offense. I'm not like trying to just put it all on him, but he refuses to kind of go with the running back in a game that's doing the best.
The hot hand
don't mean shit to Sean Payton. And maybe you're swapping personnel here between Estime and Jaleel because you think maybe Estime better in pass protection or some shit that I'm not seeing, right? But like Jaleel was the most effective running back in just 10 carries. Mm-hmm. I like Audric. Estime's had some nice games, but I feel like Sean Payton does this thing where if the first run play on a drive doesn't work, he's not going to fucking run it again for the rest of the drive.
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, one bad run. Nope. First run does well, then he's going to keep mixing it in. And I feel like all of the successful drives, the Broncos picked up a first down, with their running back. And I think what Sean Payton needs is his Alvin Kamara back, where he is a pure running back and he is a insane threat catching passes, because all of those, Bo Nix's passing chart is like, it's not 20, but it's like 20 passes at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
A 50-yard touchdown, another deep shot, and then just a lot to be desired kind of in the middle of the field.
And that's like the Russell Wilson offense that you were seeing, of like, it is a lot of like behind the line of scrimmage or short passes.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like the Packers, I wish they were doing that yesterday, because there was no rhythm that was being established. And for a young quarterback, it makes a lot of sense that you're going to have like, all right, we're going to dump it off, wide receiver screen, something like that, just short intermediate passes. But when you need to like move down the field, that's when that becomes a bit of a problem.
And T. Higgins is the kind of guy that you want in that offense, because what you're looking for is a receiver who is big and strong and can block and is also, a threat. So if you're setting up those wide receiver screens, you want another guy or two out there. I think that's why Sean Payton has held on to a little hump for so long. But when those plays are not working, it's infuriating.
Yes.
And I think it was it was the Falcons game. So many of those screen passes, those bubble screens to the receiver, they worked for the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
They have to work more consistently for you to rely on it, and they haven't. But it's fine though. It's pain. Like that game was rough, like because the Broncos fought back. They had all the lucky breaks. Officiating was lopsided. Like there's some real ticky-tacky, passive, illegal contact BS, but I can't complain because we got all the miracles and we wiped our butts with them. Said, ha, thanks for nothing, God.
Mm-hmm.
We've been smited now. Anyway.
Okay, what a finish. Boop. For the kidding. I got you, David.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, the duck. Yes, I'll be streaming Cincinnati, Pittsburgh on Saturday night. I'll be doing Green Bay, Chicago. I'm probably not going to stream a Perna on Sunday just because I'm going to have to get 2 videos out right after that for the Packers. And then I will be streaming Sunday night as well. And a very happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, you got the 425 spot, buddy. You got,
there you go.
We'll be eating good. We'll be eating real good.
My streams do a lot better when you are not streaming at the same time.
There you go.
Exactly. Why that is.
Yeah, so I literally, like, people are like, why didn't you stream the Bengals game? I was like, let Perna have that. And you had 25,000 people in there. So
I had the best stream ever.
There you go.
The Grossi Posse showed up strong, and I appreciate it.
I would like, I don't know.
He's also showed up strong, too. So the Grossi Posse and the Perna Pussies.
Where are you going into week 18? Like, because, again, you still have it all in your hands. Like,
I'm going to church this week, Tom. I am going to church and trying to figure out something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
find religion again.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is. We've seen him play great football, but he's not good. If we lose,
buddy,
the red bazooka. Oh boy.
Oh, that might be one of the worst clippable moments that might come back. Like, he's not good.
I gotta believe in the defense, dude. Zach Allen was a monster in that game.
Yeah,
Pat Surtain was so good too. That's what sucks is like T. Higgins went off. Jamar Chase finished with a lot of yards, but when Surtain was on Chase, I think it was just 27 receiving yards. Just 6 passes thrown his way when Surtain was covering him. He caught 3 of them for 26, 27 yards, and he was on Chase for a lot of that game. Riley Moss, I think, probably truly needed another week. Or T. Higgins is just that good. So hopefully, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be playing all of their receivers. Kelsey will sit. You're going to rest Hollywood Brown. I don't know. It's going to be our defense will look better against the Chiefs. And what I say isn't going to curse them. I'm not worried about it.
I'm hoping for you, buddy. I'm definitely.
I want to get in. I want to lose in the playoffs. Let me have my heart broken in the playoffs, please. And then we got to play the Bills if we get in. And the Bills look good. They destroyed the Jets. It was fun to watch.
Oh my God, they killed him.
Dude, Rodgers was so bad. And I was writing I think this is the worst game I've watched Rodgers play. And then I saw it, and I don't like QBR. I don't like ESPN's quarterback metric.
Yeah.
But his QBR was 1.8 or 1.7, which is the lowest since Davis Mills had a 0.8 in 2021. I was like, yeah, he was really bad.
Not good. Not good at all.
1.2, a 1.2 QBR. There it is. It was terrible.
Technically, the Buccaneers can get the 3 seed. Yes. So the Buccaneers. So there's a couple things here because the Buccaneers are not winning in. The Buccaneers, they need to win, right? So they need to win their last game against the Saints, and the Falcons need to lose. So if the Falcons wind up losing, you're good. We're rocking and rolling. The Buccaneers need to beat the Saints. Falcons are going to be playing the Panthers. So that's 1. 2, if the Rams, who they clinched the NFC West last night because the Commanders wound up winning, and that was the whole strength of schedule thing. If the Rams lose against the Seahawks and the Buccaneers win, Falcons lose, so the Buccaneers, they clinch, they would move up to the 3 spot, and the Rams would move down to the 4 spot. So yes, the Rams just need to lose, the Bucs need to win, the Falcons need to lose, and then that can happen.
Damn.
So it's true.
I just zoned out. I didn't hear a single thing you said about how the Bucs can get there.
They got to win. Falcons lose. Rams lose.
There we go.
There you go. I concise, nice and concise.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing too. Green Bay, and there's been a lot of they can't be, bro. All of their losses are to within the division.
Yeah.
They got swept by the Lions. They got swept by the Vikings. The first time since 2017 they got swept by the Vikings. And the score was close at the end, and they had a rally at the end. But man, Minnesota dominated that game for 3 quarters. They did a nice job. Minnesota was damn good. Packers had no pass rush. Sam Darnold had all freaking day. The offense could never get into a rhythm. I don't know what the play calling was. People are talking about the offsides call, which I think was BS of the kick, and it was a 3-point swing. But guess what? They decided not to go for 3 and decided to go for it on 4th down, and it was a turnover on down. So the Packers had opportunities to win that game, and they didn't, unfortunately. So yeah, it's upsetting.
What you the offsides on the field goal?
Yeah,
how mad did that make you,
dude?
In the moment versus retrospect.
In the moment, it was kind of I don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah,
I
looked at that a lot, and I can't see it.
I can't see it. And someone on Twitter was like, what do you mean? Look at this. And drew the most unstraight line ever. It was like, hey, look, see, he jumped. He was lined up. So again, I'm not overly upset because 1, listen, the Packers have gotten calls before, but 2, that didn't decide the game. I know that's a 3-point swing because he missed the field goal attempt and then they wound up getting it, moving it 5 yards closer. But the Packers could have, you know how you win that game? Score more than 3 points in the first half. That's how you could do that. And they didn't show up. Josh Jacobs, they were moving well on that first drive. And that first drive seems to be pivotal if the Packers are going to show up in the first half. And Josh Jacobs fumbled, and that kind of already put him at a disadvantage. So at the end of the day, it sucks. Packers fall to the 7 seed, which I am not very happy about. Still have an opportunity to get the 6 seed if they beat the Bears and the Commanders lose to the Cowboys, but I don't know how likely that's going to be. So yeah, it sucks, but I still think this team is good. I'm not blaming injury, but having guys out, Devontae Wyatt, Zane Anderson, they both left that game with a concussion. Had no Quay Walker, no Jair Alexander, no Evan Williams. Missing Christian Watson on that offense made a huge difference because that offense just looked completely out of sync all day, man. And I got to give a ton of credit to the Vikings. The Vikings defense played well. The offensive line for the Packers looked the worst that they have in a while because they could not stop the Vikings. Jordan Love was under siege. And on top of that, like I said, they just couldn't establish anything. The one good thing, the run defense still looked pretty good. The passing defense looked bad. The run defense still looked good. So that was...
there's I had 2 takeaways. One, the Packers front didn't look as dominant as it has while they've kind of had this like nice stretch where like, oh shit, Packers are ready to make some noise in the postseason. It's because they're dominating, both sides of the trenches. Love wasn't great under pressure either.
Nope.
And I honestly think a little bit of his ineffectiveness and he's been good, but like compared to last year, we're like, oh my God, is this guy your next Hall of Famer?
He goes on a tear.
I think it all just goes back to that week 1 injury with his knee. I think that just like set so many things back for him in terms of his second season as a starter. And
in the first half, I'd agree.
Yeah, but still, I think like there's just so much there. But if you guys got to play the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs,
stay there,
like, dude, the Lions and the Vikings are both incredible football teams.
Sure.
They're division rivals, and you never really want to play division rivals in the playoffs. But I think you guys want to play one of those teams over the Eagles right now.
1,000,000%.
But the Eagles, Hurts has missed, 1 3/4 of a game now, and maybe that actually helps whoever plays Philly. Like if he comes in and he's just a little rusty or whatever. But I think the NFL needs to make that playoff game in Brazil as well. Just do that. Just make that one also in Brazil. But it's like my other thought was like during the game, the Vikings quadrant of receivers, ball catchers, they're just more polished right now than the Packers, and you didn't have Watson in there. Obviously, I think that's a big part of it. But like when Sam Darnold needed a play, it doesn't have to be Justin Jefferson.
Look at Naylor.
It can be Addison, and it can be Hawkinson, who's, now he's feeling good after recovering from his ACL last year. So there's so many weapons for Darnold, and Darnold's just playing too good. He wasn't even perfect in this game, but he was just too good. In the Vikings, I thought maybe we're a little bit better heading into this game. They kind of proved it, but the NFC North is probably the most fun division to watch right now. Like your 3 top teams are all good. They can win any week. They're very different teams too.
Correct.
It's just it sucks for you guys, but that was outside. That game was because you guys clawed back into it. If they don't do that, then we're talking about like the Vikings just dominated you guys.
Yeah, correct.
And here's like, what are you more impressed with? The team that's trailing 17 and gets back into it?
No.
Or the team that was up 17 and almost fucking blew it, but still held on to win?
Because at the end of the day, I think like the Vikings were by far the better team yesterday. Like they're I have no
for 3.5 quarters.
They were the better team, so you talk about that defense and whatever, but there was never that last drive got a little bit iffy, but like you said, like they made the play, and it was perfect. Like his Cam Akers was wide open and Darnold had time. Like our lack of pass rush, which looked really damn good against the Saints, looked really damn good against the Seahawks. This is a much better team than the Saints and the Seahawks. And even when we blew out the Saints, I'm very confident in my team, obviously, and I think that they can still beat anybody, but those are 2 completely different teams and different squads. And it was going to be tough going on the road and beating the Vikings. I still had a ton of confidence that they could do it, but they just looked flat as hell, man. And that's the frustrating thing. And there's little things that can be picked on of like, okay, the play calling wasn't that great. You look at the floor and not going for points. Like there's a bunch of things that you can pick out. And unfortunately, when we get to the postseason and go up against all the teams of the Vikings, like all the teams are going to be pretty damn good. The margin of error is literally
so
that
small.
much. And Brad, personally, I as someone who has been on the losing end of many overtime games, I'm glad that they changed it in the postseason so that even if there's a touchdown scored, the other team gets it. But for the regular season, no, I think it's fine. I know that the emphasis is on offense and a lot of rules benefit the offenses, but defense still has to have a role in this game. So you don't want them to score a touchdown. They got rid of the field goal thing. I like that. That's good. But you got to stop them from scoring a touchdown.
Honestly, just get rid of overtime in the regular season.
There you go, Nate.
I had a thought.
Go that GPS bowl.
Man, next year I think there's a better shot.
Well, no, because if we if you finish third and we finish third, we're gonna be playing each other.
Yeah, but I mean Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But yes,
yes.
apparently you're gonna play all the clickbait people next year, which is cool. But all right, 2 thoughts. If I forget the second one, remind me.
I got you.
Instead of the 18th game the NFL wants to do, what if that week they just go to a play-in game for the last 2 wild card spots? So every team going into the playoffs actually gets a bye, and then you get 2 games, 1 Sunday.
So the 1 seed has 2 buys, is off for 2 weeks.
Let's figure that out later. I'm not thinking that far ahead. I'm just saying right now, if the Broncos win this week, I think everybody still wants the Bengals. Most football fans, I think, want the Bengals in the playoffs over the Broncos. People believe they're the only team that can maybe beat the Chiefs. People believe the Bills and Ravens can beat the Chiefs, but they don't think the Broncos can beat the Chiefs. And if the Broncos upset the Bills and then they get the Chiefs, like, oh, look at that easy path the Chiefs have. But like another game between Denver and Cincinnati for that final spot would be, I think, very entertaining. Second thing, and this is just me bragging about my brain, because when the Vikings had that final drive, right? They run it left, they get stuffed. And in my head, I go, I bet they're setting up play action. I bet they're going to run that way again. And they fucking did it.
And Jefferson.
Nobody was around. I didn't say it out loud. I didn't tweet it. Nobody will ever believe me. But I believe I can be an offensive coordinator, is my point. I was like, oh my God, they're actually doing the thing I thought. And it's a smart football thing because they set it up. Darnold rolls out. Boom.
You know what? I have never agreed with Brandon Perna more. I think Brandon Perna would be an excellent offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. Oh. I think that you should be hired right now. You just don't even wait. Get hired right before the Packers game. That's going to be your opportunity to really shine, and go against the Packers. McCaskey.
I just demonstrated the thing you do.
This brilliant mind who
you think multiple plays ahead.
That's it.
Bam.
That's
Dude,
it.
I could call a better game for Caleb Williams than anybody's done for him this entire season. Hand it off, Caleb. Hey, here's a handoff to Swift. Here's another handoff. Here's a third handoff. Oh, 3 out. Guess what? I just saved you. Running around. You're going to take a hit.
Yep. I think you should go. Again, pack your bags. Just show up to Soldier Field.
I would literally sit up in the booth. I would open up Madden. I would go with coaching assists for play calling. And I would just dial it up that way. Fucking easy.
Done. Piece of cake. Easy peasy. Good season. Ask Seahawks fans. They're the only ones that can judge that. I mean, if I'm a Seahawks fan, it's your first season with a new coach. But there's not a lot of nuance on that offense in terms of your quarterback, your main wide receivers, your running backs now. And I feel like that is where it's underwhelming. You need an offensive line. And then it's like, okay, what do we do at quarterback? But the offensive line needs to happen 1,000,000%.
Okay. So, yeah. Did you see this shit?
What's up?
Dude, if you're a Jets fan right now.
Well, already, that's a tough time. No, they are officially not the 7th seed. They're the 7th seed right this second, but it's not confirmed. The Commanders have to win next week. If the Commanders win, then the Packers are definitely the 7th seed. I'm going to put the Vikings at 27. So, oh no,
yeah,
Riverboat Ron.
Look, I love Ron.
Love Riverboat Ron.
He's done as a head coach though.
Oh boy, I did not see that.
Like at this point, you can't seriously be considering this based on what we just watched in 2 seasons. The difference between Dan Quinn and the Commanders versus Ron.
It's true.
Like Jets, come on now. Come on, New York. Him getting that job would be That would be great for videos, I think. Again, no disrespect to Rivera. He had his run. I just think he's past his prime.
Yeah, because Rivera was hired for Washington when they needed a culture shift, right?
Yeah.
Even though the culture was damn good.
Damn.
The Jets need a culture shift. They need an owner shift too, but they need a culture shift. But, buddy, I would pay big money to see Ron Rivera and Aaron Rodgers for a season and just watch the magic. But yeah, that doesn't give me, and who knows, dude, like, who knows what's going to happen with Garrett Wilson? Who knows what's going to happen with that? Because that defense, going from one of the best defenses last year, and we're like, okay, Rodgers going into the scenario, the defense, bare minimum, is going to at least be very good. And for them to just take a nosedive, like they got issues.
We thought worst case scenario for the Jets was like them having a winning record, but just missing the playoffs because the AFC is so competitive.
Correct.
Boy, were we wrong.
Oh, no, very wrong. Real quick. So it doesn't mean like a whole lot because the Browns still got to pay Deshaun Watson a crap ton of money because it was fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
So they're still going to pay him $92 million fully guaranteed during the 25 and 26 season. So it's not a pay cut or anything. I think it just makes sense that they're going to wind up holding on to him because you got to pay for him anyway. DTR is not the answer in Cleveland. They still are going to need a quarterback. So it's a matter of, I guess we're paying him. So we might as well do something, make it a little bit easier to work around his insane contract.
Yeah. And that's what's funny about the Giants falling to
oh boy,
pick 4. They got the Browns and Titans ahead of them now in the draft.
That's us.
It's not guaranteed those teams will take a quarterback.
Get your dust.
But I mean, Cleveland, you got to draft a quarterback.
And again, in a draft where they are not highly lauded this go around, the tank poll is on. And
please hire Ron Rivera, New York.
Oh my God, be amazing. It would be amazing.
I do want to talk about this game before I forget.
Sure.
Pardon me. Good
God. That was beautiful.
I shut this game off.
We'll see, Benzino. We'll see. Oh, you shut it off
this year. I was like, you know what? I think it's over. Let me start writing. I was like, I don't need the sound of it. I got to get through some stuff on the script. And then I just checked. I'm like, wait, this is an overtime?
Yep.
This is an OT?
Michael Penix, dude, on 4th down and goal. A bullet.
Yeah.
The Kyle Pitts of all people. Caught the ball.
So I think if you're a Falcons fan, you got to feel pretty good about what you're starting to see from Penix. Only 2nd game. But I think he's showing you more than Kirk Cousins. I think you can plan on starting Penix next season. Like it. I'm excited to watch more Penix. But what Jayden Daniels is doing as a rookie is rather insane. He's thrown 5 touchdown passes in the last 30 seconds of games or overtime. Nobody's done that since the 1970 merger. He is clutch. He's as clutch of a dude as you can have. And his Hail Mary ended the Bears season. So everybody in the NFC North should like Jayden Daniels as well, because you can continue to lord your success over Chicago. And in overtime, Commanders get the ball, 7.5-minute drive, 12 plays, and they ended it with a touchdown. So even if they didn't score a touchdown there, they ate so much clock.
They did.
They were going to put the Falcons in a real tough situation. So Jayden Daniels was already rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. He just put a fucking ribbon on that. Insane how good he's been this season. And hey, maybe even Ron Rivera would have looked good if he had Jayden Daniels this year with the Commanders. I feel like he would have messed it up. But also 127 rushing yards on top of everything he did through the air. And then The bad part for Atlanta, though, is they had a chance to win.
Yep.
Raheem doesn't call a timeout. They waste 17 seconds. But I think ultimately Atlanta doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. They waited too long, I think, to make the switch to Penix. Had they done it earlier, which is hard. It's a hard thing to do.
It's a hard thing to do, yeah.
It's a hard decision to make. But damn. Washington is fun. They're a fun football team. They have not been a fun football team since RG3, really. And I love watching Jayden Daniels play the game.
Also, so sorry. This has nothing to do with anything, but incorrect. I was just reading an article that just had wrong information. Just wanted to verify. The Buccaneers win and they're in. They don't need the Falcons to lose. If the Buccaneers win, they are in next week. It's not win. They have to rely on the Falcons to lose because after last night, the Buccaneers go above the Falcons there. So that's correct. And they still can get the 3rd seed if the Rams wind up losing to the Seahawks and the Buccaneers win. Sorry about that. Continue.
No, I'm done.
Okay, we're all done. Yeah, no, that game was it was fun. And like shout out to the NFL for actually flexing that into Sunday Night Football because that was pretty darn good. That's fair. Chargers, Steelers win Saturday. Chargers locked in the 6th seed. Okay, interesting. I mean, the Chargers, they made the postseason. Like they could not be happier. If they wind up winning a playoff game, then oh boy. Yeah. But I feel like now, if you are the AFC opponent, like you want to play the Texans. Like we were talking about this a little bit on Friday. Like that's the team you want to play. So yeah, that's Carson Wentz. Let's talk about
no, we not.
Because there's no way that we can get away with this show without talking about them. Yeah, Philadelphia dominated Dallas. Like that was ugly. We thought maybe like the Dallas defense after showing up against the Buccaneers, like they could do it. They did not. They could not. We were wrong. We were very, very wrong.
And what was embarrassing about the Cowboys loss is Kenny Pickett's starting. Your defense had been playing well. You know the one guy you need to just not let beat you is Saquon Barkley. Like, just stack the box every time. And Barkley, 160-plus rushing yards, becomes the 9th 2,000-yard rusher in NFL history. He's done it. I was just looking at this stat. I think the 3rd fewest carries to get to 2,000 in a season. Only O.J. Simpson, Barry Sanders did it on fewer touches overall.
Correct.
So very impressive that Saquon went out there, broke 2,000 against a Cowboys team. We know the Cowboys aren't good, but we're like, maybe they give the Eagles a game. Starting Kenny Pickett. Nope. They lost 40-7.
Nope. Nope. But I cannot get away without talking about the Indianapolis Colts and the New Jersey Giants. Dude, Sunday, I will say, even as a Packers fan, Sunday Night Football coming down to the Vikings, Lions for the number 1 seed and for the division.
Oh, my God.
That is going to be a phenomenal way to end the regular season. I'm very excited for that game. I wish the Vikings lost still. But
that'll be a game. That'll be a game.
Let's talk about the Colts because there's a few things here that we need to mention. First of all, Gus Bradley. Colts fans not been happy with him for a good chunk of the year. Definitely not happy with him after yesterday. Drew Lock, 17 for 23, 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 sacks. Oh, and also had a rushing touchdown. Drew Lock had 5 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah.
In a game where the Giants held the number 1 draft pick and the Colts needed to win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yeah. It was the most surprising game, I think, of the weekend.
Correct. Yeah. Holy crap. What a disaster for the Colts.
I could have had Biff's Sports Almanac saying the Giants are going to win this game. And I would have bet against it. I would have said, you know what? I actually don't trust this one. Yeah. I know this is from the future, but there's no way
Here you go, Brandon. Good
the Giants are going to do this to the Colts.
Dude, like the Giants, who, as of yesterday, were the worst team in the league. They were bad. And they put up 45 points on the Colts. 45.
Yeah.
Dude, like it is.
Drew Lock played so well. Kevin O'Connell's bringing him in to be a Viking.
It's winning in for the Bucs, yes.
He's like, I can fix that man too. He just flashed.
Yep. Like it is horrible. Joe Flacco obviously started that game. Jonathan Taylor, he did well. He had 125 yards. Jonathan Taylor has like a really nice end of this season.
Yeah.
He's having a really nice stretch.
He did drop the pass that would have probably tied the game up for the Colts, though, with the 2-point play.
Yes. Rough times. Oh, yeah. Clock management. Apparently, the Falcons don't believe in that either because they let a ton of time run off that clock.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, no good.
I just said that.
Well, I'm behind on supers right now.
I know. It's okay.
Who's a dark horse that could get a surprise win? Chargers could do it. J.K. Dobbins is back. I think the Chargers could definitely do it. Buccaneers might be able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say those teams.
I was so behind on supers in my stream. It was actually kind of comical reading through the timeline at the end. Like, oh, God, this is when we were out of it. This is when we were back in it. Mm-hmm. And this is when we were back out of it again. It was like reliving it. It was like reliving the last 20 minutes of that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Bengals are a bigger threat, I think. But for the Colts, man, I mean, what a horrible way to end a season. And it was funny because I saw I think it was like McAfee tweeted out and was like, hey, like I got crucified for saying like this team isn't there yet. And they ain't there yet. And again, like Jonathan Taylor had a good game. Pierce was good. I think he was their leading receiver with over 100 yards. Yeah. But
I think the Colts win that game if Anthony Richardson was healthy and played. Flacco threw
picks,
a horrible pick in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
His last two were in the final couple minutes, but like, I don't know. The Giants had
their losses in
3 interceptions all season. Flacco gave him 2 more, nearly doubled it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Anthony just gives him another dynamic, even though he's obviously not perfect. But
I mean, it's just like, dude, like, where do you even go? Like, it's a tough look in the mirror because again, like the Texans, they got to figure stuff out too. They got to get healthy. But someone brought this up. I want to say it was yesterday or Saturday. They're like, remember when we looked at the AFC South and we're like, wow, a bunch of young quarterbacks. Like, this is going to be super exciting. And it is just limping to the finish line. You know, like teams are injured. The Colts don't look good. The Titans are the Titans, the Jaguars. So it's rough, man. That's a rough way to win. The Giants, man, like they can't even do it right. They give the number 1 overall pick right now to the Patriots. Patriots wind up losing. So we'll if they lose next week, they're gonna keep that number 1 pick. But yeah, man, that was a tough freaking game. That was a tough game to watch if you're a Colts fan.
Yeah, man. Like,
what happens?
I don't think the Colts would have gotten in anyway, but
no, I mean, you never know.
Broncos will make sure of that.
Oh yeah, Echo. I think you told that to the most diehard Vikings fan.
Yeah.
I don't think they agree with that. And like that's what we've been talking about, and that's why KOC deserves a ton of credit in Kevin O'Connell because like he's been playing well. And again, they had a pretty strong roster, but I don't think anybody anticipated Sam Darnold going in there and lighting it up. I remember I said it back in August when I was doing like the whole season predictions. I was like, oh, I think Sam Darnold's going to win them some games, but ultimately, you know, I think I put their ceiling at like 10 wins or something. Blew past everybody's expectations, playing for the number 1 seed, playing for the division. Yeah, you got
somebody say cock.
Of course. Wow, look at that replay. That's beautiful. That's 1990s internet right there. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Dark, you don't have to trust it. You just got to watch the game or not. That's it. Like I'm not happy the Packers are sitting at the 7 seed right now. I'm not thrilled. I'm not happy that they but at least they made it into the dance. I'm not saying that as like, oh, if they lose, I'm going to be okay. I'm saying you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
I don't care about home field. I don't care about seeding. I don't care about who you have to play.
I don't think so.
if you want to go to the Super Bowl, if you believe your team deserves it, you've got to beat whoever, right? Like, if the road to get there's a little bit tougher, that's fine. I think it makes you more dangerous by if the Packers go into Philly and win that game, the momentum they will have behind them will be very real.
Well, it's that, Perna, but it's also like, look at the Chiefs last year. The Chiefs got criticized over and over again for having easy paths to the Super Bowl, right? They're like, oh, they're always at home, what have you. But they beat the Dolphins at home. Sure, that was not a very difficult game. But then they went on the road. They beat the Bills. They went on the road. They beat the Ravens. Like, they earned it. They went through one of the toughest schedules possible, beating some of the best teams in the AFC. And now, if you want to represent the AFC in this Super Bowl, guess what? You got to go to Arrowhead and you got to beat the freaking Chiefs, most likely.
Yeah. So, it's great.
It's true, Otter. It's very,
like, I don't think the Broncos are built to do that, but we've seen, like, the Bengals game is a good example of the Broncos are going to make games interesting. It's quite the opposite of what they did with Russell Wilson a lot of the time.
Yeah,
but the Browns game that was in prime time, that was wildly entertaining. Like, I think they'll make for a good playoff game, even if they ultimately lose. And anything can happen. You just got to get in.
Mm-hmm. And Dolphins, they're still alive. They're still alive. They took care of business against the Browns, who Cleveland Browns are a bad football team. They do not look good at all. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, like, it's Broncos. I'd want to see either the Broncos or the Bengals. As a football fan, I'd like to see the Bengals just because it's going to be more entertaining. And Broncos, obviously, for you. So
it's very simple why you'd rather watch the Bengals.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is
MVP like level.
Top 3 quarterback every single week. He's playing like number 1 quarterback most weeks. Bo Nix is a rookie, and he's had some nice moments. But in no sane football world would somebody say, I want to watch Bo Nix over Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of guys you would say you want to watch Bo Nix over, but like Joe Burrow's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Yes. You signed up at the right place, Crawl. Like Burrow, and I think there's
there you go, Bruce.
I wrote this in Winners and Losers, or in the I can't remember, or if it's Broncos recap. But he is just so calm under pressure. I think him and Mahomes are equals in the fourth quarter, game on the line. They never look rattled, right? And they do exactly what they need to do. And I said, like, Josh Allen is as good as those guys in the clutch, but he looks like a wild, like a madman. He looks like a madman out there playing football. I think that's why I like Josh Allen more than those guys as football players. But like, dude, Burrow's he's too fucking good. Every throw, nailed it.
Burrow's good, man.
Didn't make a bad decision. Everything that kept that game going was not his fault.
And he doesn't have the best offensive line. His poise in the pocket. And I saw this his rookie year. I was like, holy crap, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's
that
got
is
it, dude.
Like ice cold. And no, Huss, because listen, they had a chance to get the LA Bowl a couple years ago when the Rams made it, and the Chargers could have made it too, but they did not. They did not. But yeah, dude, like the Bengals are just fun to watch. And like, I know the MVP is between Lamar, Josh Allen, and Saquon's up there too, which by the way, Saquon Barkley, over 2,000 yards, can beat the rushing record next week against his former team, the Giants, which that's just great for storylines. But that's for the Giants. My God, if he beats the record in front of, that's going to be a punch. That's going to be a punch.
I can't win the Super Bowl this year. I know. It's all right. All right.
Hey.
I better root for Russ. I'm rooting for Josh Allen.
That's right. Dude, so that was mentioned before. If the Broncos sneak in and they somehow, some way beat the Bills and then they lose to the Chiefs,
I'll feel so bad for Bills
you
fans.
Will, like, that is the worst.
Bills fans are going to hate me.
Scenario. And Chiefs win the Super Bowl, of course.
Yeah, they're going to hate me. I don't know if I can live with it. I'll have to be full-blown Lions. Dude, but I'm finding like a big soft spot for Sam Darnold.
Why not?
I know you don't want to hear that, but
no, dude, he deserves
for that
it.
guy.
I mean, he's a dude.
He's made the Vikings far more interesting than I thought he could this season.
Definitely should get the nod.
But
if it's not him, he needs to be one of the finalists.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that, dude. Like 1 year, $10 million, Sam Darnold throwing away. It's a just like Baker Mayfield. Like it's a great story. He will have played himself into a great contract with whatever. Someone keeps on asking, like, where is he going to go? And I keep on responding, somewhere worse. Like because wherever he goes,
he'll be back in Minnesota. I guarantee
you think so?
Yeah. Dude, he's playing too well for them to be like, let's let him go. They've got an insurance policy on him and JJ right now, but
so
I saw it was spot track.
A 3-year contract with an out at 2, a 3-year contract and out at 2, and then you bring him back and you have JJ sit for obviously this year he was hurt, but you have him sit for a couple years and see what you got.
I thought this tweet was really good.
Would you take Broncos not making the playoffs if the Bengals would eliminate the Chiefs?
Oh, hello. You want to come say hi?
Garmy!
Who is that?
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy almost New Year. What'd you get for Christmas?
What'd you get for Christmas, Carm?
A bike.
You got a bike? You riding the bike?
Did we ride it yesterday?
Nice.
We're going to go for a bike ride later?
Yes.
What did you see Uncle Tom doing yesterday?
Was I crying?
Remember you told me?
Crying.
What was he doing?
Overflowing the cup.
He was overflowing the cup?
Oh, it's the P for the team.
Oh, you saw him hydrated.
I was poor. So I cut it, and of course it fills the glass over and it just runs over. Yes, that is.
That's what it was.
Yep. Glad you got a bike.
Somewhere? Yeah.
Where are you going?
We're gonna go return Mom's shoes. They actually returned the wrong shoes to Mom. And there's like a thing that we climbed there.
Oh, cool. You getting those big shoes down here too? The shoes are over here.
Big shoes are over here.
You won't be in frame. You worried about how you look? Oh, you do look amazing.
Oh, hey, it's Jess!
Happy Monday. Sorry about the Packers.
Yeah, I know.
But that's neither here nor there.
Of course not. Of course not. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy
Merry
New Year,
Christmas.
all those things. Yes, going to party it out. Gonna go on a big adventure.
Yeah, we're going to the mall.
Oh,
Mall rats.
let's go to the mall. Gonna power walk.
Oh, Johnny Barks.
Hey, let's go.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to let you.
Yeah,
guys
they're right over there. The big Converse ones.
Bye, Jess. Bye, Carmi.
Bye, guys. Love you.
I ordered Jess like shoes for Christmas that she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And
Echo.
grab me these shoes to be exact.
Foot. Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
But when I first ordered them, this is what showed up. All right, she's a woman, size 6.5. I got men's Converse, size 13.
They're basically the same shoe.
How wrong of an order. Oh, you want these Adidas women's 6.5? Here's some 13 Converse for you. So they're gonna go take them back.
So I'll pick out different.
Wouldn't be surprised if they start starters for like a quarter.
All
Like
right.
that. Wouldn't be surprised.
Here's what I was gonna bring up.
Tell me.
Oh, so
Hi, Carmi.
which situation do you want to be in? Spit 90 million guaranteed on a free agent QB, then drafted Penix, drafted the quarterback at 10, but ended up with a $90+ million guaranteed bridge QB, who turns out to be a franchise starter.
Yeah, I think the Vikings did all right. I think that they're in a good spot because they have complete control over their destiny, right? Like they're going to see how Sunday goes, they're going to see how the postseason goes, and then they can make a decision by the time March rolls around. So, someone asked, would you sacrifice the Broncos not making the playoffs for the Bengals to eliminate the Chiefs?
Oh my God. Oh. Can I just add that the Bengals do it in a very Chiefs-like way?
So like last second bad call, like just
or the Chiefs got to punt it and the Bengals return it for a touchdown. Like at this point, watching the Broncos lose to the Chargers and Bengals, if you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I'd said no. I just want my team in.
Sure.
But now I will guarantee that loss. I'll take the loss.
But
the Bengals, their offense can hang with anyone. Let's not forget that
their defense is their defense.
Yes.
The pass rush, like they were getting after Bo a little bit. That was kind of good to see. Here again, Sam Darnold, I think he's just in a great situation with Minnesota. Yeah. I think that he wouldn't do as well next year because, I think just the expectations are insanely high right this second. But I think if he leaves Minnesota, he's just going to a place that's going to be worse off. That's probably going to have a worse O-line. It's not going to have as many weapons and probably not going to put up the same numbers, I would imagine. So even mediocre, they'd be Super Bowl contenders. Justin, I don't know. It's a little column A, a little column B. I think you signed the duck, you're fine. But ultimately, the Buccaneers, I think, could make some waves in the postseason. They get a favorable schedule. I think they definitely win a wild card game. Because they're going to get a home game. So why not? Why not? Carson Wentz can literally ruin some franchises. Next Sunday. We gonna see. Hey, look, red dress. Go Chiefs.
Okay, Ben. It's not a Chiefs dress. It's a holiday dress.
Hey, because the Chiefs got the 1 seed. It's very festive.
Are the Chiefs going to have too much rest?
Do you think they're going to start starters?
No, I don't think so. At least not like the main ones.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
They've rested their players like several times when they've under Andy Reid. So
I got a small one. Holy crapola. Donald Gifton, 50 memberships. Boop. I think that's about Donald. Brandon folks, join the Discord. Appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you, Donald. That's very kind of you. Appreciate you. Thank you, and thank you. Let's go. That was a crazy way to end GPS.
Nice.
Tonight, we got, appreciate the hell out of you, Donald. We got the 49ers and the Lions. Next week is still going to be for the division. There is a little caveat going on, like the Eagles, because they won, that maybe if the Lions lose tonight, it gets a little interesting, but I don't think the Lions are going to lose. I think the 49ers should wind up winning. What do you got, buddy?
Appreciate Coming out today?
Yeah, what do you got?
Winners and losers should be up tonight.
Please, God,
no.
Be
up tonight.
Please, God, no. Please, God, no.
Oh, God.
Please. If this happens, Perna, we got to shoot the Super Bowl together.
Yeah, I'll show up as dressed as a Viking, and you will be wearing authentic headdress.
I don't know if I'll go.
Yes, you will.
Nope.
You will do it,
and
you will be canceled for it.
Super early. It's super early, Chris. So I wouldn't say all QBs are good. So yeah, we just gotta wait and see and wait how some of these careers pan out. Gotta give them a couple of years. So. Bucs now the number 5 rush D, but the 3rd worst passing defense. There it is. Ooh. And that's why it can't be all on Todd Bowles, because like that passing defense is not so good.
Their defense took a step back this year. They have it's because Vita Vea is why they are good against the run.
Oh, there you go, Hunter. He was just tired. CJ Stroud just tired. Well, again,
you can't say that. You can't say that, dude.
Hey, it worked for Anthony Richardson, didn't it? If I worked,
Caleb Williams got to come give you some advice now, CJ.
He's going to be like, hey.
Dude, don't say that. Don't say you're tired, bro.
Hey, listen, Packers, they got it all in front of them. I know last night was disappointing, but 9 more sacks on Caleb Williams in week 18. Come on. Let's get the sack record. Let's get it. Browns, no. Bro, if the Browns signed Sam Darnold,
he wouldn't go there.
He wouldn't go there.
No way.
He would go there. I don't think so. I do not think so.
He'll be a Viking.
Stop putting this out into the world. Please stop. Yeah. Please stop. No. Brandon, legitimately, I will scream for the Chiefs like it was my own team.
Yeah. It would be a good stream, but
my God, the stream would be legendary. But please, God, no.
Yeah,
please, no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I got scripted. Going to be coming out later tonight. I'll be streaming tonight's game, the last Monday Night Football game of the regular season. There is no Monday night next week. No Thursday night this week either. First time since September.
Oh, yes.
I know.
Thursdays. Taking back Thursday.
Yeah, if we get our Thursdays back.
Oh, we are. Our Saturday's fucked. So
No, Saturdays were screwed forever. But I've been screwed since last week for Saturdays.
Yeah,
and then I'll see if I put out every fans. If not, that's going to come out tomorrow. So yes, but I'll see you later for scripted. Well, folks, appreciate the hell out of you. Are we doing GPS on New Year's? That's up to you.
New Year's Day?
Yeah.
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 I don't celebrate that shit.
Okay. No,
I'll be here Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back on Wednesday?
Yeah.
We'll be back on Wednesday.
I'll be in bed by 10:30 p.m. that night.
Not help things, Kyle. Well, also paying him all that money and maybe not paying Juwan.
A lot of injuries hurt the Niners, but yes.
That Sam Darnold with the Rams and or with the 49ers.
That's a situation he could go to that would be, I think, comparable for him.
That gets very interesting.
He's got Puka. He's got Cup.
Yeah.
They add in just, tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Great coach. Sean McVay's a guy you want to play for.
That'd be interesting.
Just watching Sean McVay take Stafford out to the field and put a bullet in the back of his head.
Buffalo. Oh my God. If the Vikings even sniff the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would love this Super Bowl.
Please no.
I would love it.
I mean, listen, you'd get a first-time Super Bowl winner, which would be great.
There's 3 teams in the mix there, right?
Pray to God that it's because the Lions are there too.
Lions,
Vikings, Bills, acceptable.
And Bengals if they sneak in.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
I'll
folks,
be pissed. Yeah.
Appreciate the hell out of you, Buffalo. We appreciate you too. We'll see you later. I'll be streaming scripted winners and losers. That'll be coming out. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. We'll see you in 2025. This is GPS. You have been navigated.
If we make it to 2025.